Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Thursday night! And the beards are back. I am your main man, Mayhem. And with me, as always, is this guy, Monty. How
What's
you
up?
doing,
How you
bud?
doing? I'm doing good. How you doing, Sarge?
Not too bad, not too bad. It is Thursday night. We're talking over Thursday night football as usual. And is it me, Monty, or have they kind of upped the game on Thursday nights this year?
Bro,
I
I
mean,
love it. I love the next gen stuff. I don't know if you've watched that stream, but I love it.
I I haven't watched the next gen stream, but I'm just talking about the games in general. Remember
Oh
last
yeah.
year, the Thursday night games were absolutely trash.
Yeah.
And now we've got Packers Lions on the TV. We're talking Giants, and we're gonna briefly gloss over the shit show that was last Thursday night, where I got loaded and talked through the whole second half of that debacle, and then immediately deleted all of it. Yes, it was a little ugly. Not as bad as it could have been, but it was a little bit ugly. Monty, I've been all over the place talking about the game last week. So let's start with your thoughts on what happened last Thursday.
Sure. So first of all, I want to say what's up to the people in the chat. Hey guys, thanks for being here.
Mason,
Yep. Hi guys. So as far as the game on Thursday, it was disappointing. I mean, that's really the way I describe it. I felt like the Giants got the opportunity on a Thursday night game where the 49ers, who are one of the best teams in the league, clearly were playing down to their competition. And that's kind of what the Giants went in there hoping for. That's as fans, we're like, hey, it's a Thursday night football. Sometimes teams don't play up to the build they normally do. And the 49ers did that. Brock Purdy had probably one of the worst games of his career, and we just couldn't capitalize on getting any interceptions on his turnover worthy passes. And we constantly got them the third down, and we couldn't get them to turn over the ball. We got a couple shots downfield that we didn't take a shot at. Overall, it just felt like the game was there for the taking, and the Giants had no interest in taking it. So I wasn't thrilled with the result of the game, even though it was
yeah,
close to the fourth.
yeah.
What about
I
you?
mean, yeah, yeah. It was close all the way up till halfway through the fourth quarter, and
Mhm.
you start getting that notion in the back of your brain, like, oh my god, we could maybe pull this off. But then you know Brock Purdy in the first quarter was trying to give that game away. We should
Yep.
have come down with at least three interceptions, and not to mention the mess that is third and long, and how nobody can tackle on this team right now. It's like everybody forgot how to do that. Everybody's too busy trying to
Yeah.
punch the ball out or do this and that, and it's all about fundamentals, And Carl Banks talked about it, about hunting like wolves, and
Yep.
I just want to see tackles. I don't care if it's a solo tackle, if it's a gang tackle. I just want them on the ground. You know how
Yep.
you stop a third and long? Is you tackle the guy before he gets to the first down mark. Don't
And
worry
it
about
was
trying to punch the ball out, because you're going to get it back anyway. And I know it's all
yeah.
about field position and blah, 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 but I don't care. I just want tackles. Tackle, tackle, tackle.
And it was the most missed tackles the Giants have had since week 5 of 2019 under
It was
the James
it was
Etcher era.
oh geez, it was abysmal. The tackling was abysmal, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it was bad, man. I was disappointed in the game.
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily know what to expect going into the game. And if you told me that we hung in there at the 49ers to halfway the fourth quarter, I'd probably be okay with that. But actually watching the game, and the reality of it was that the 49ers didn't play like the best team in the NFC. They played down. They were very beatable, and we just didn't take advantage. It was more that the 49ers didn't run away with the game than we kept it close. That's what it really kind of felt like.
I mean, if you think about it, it could have been worse. it could have been 70-20. That Miami put on Denver. I can tell you right now, Denver sports media is in shambles. They have been
Yep.
all week. It's grotesque out here. Um, and speaking of playing down to your competition, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, man. So listen to this. We lost to the Cowboys, but we beat Arizona, and Arizona beat the Cowboys. So are we now better than the Cowboys?
I like to think so.
Yeah.
I would like to think so. So
We'll ignore that
yeah,
the fact that we lost to the Cowboys and then Arizona beat them. We'll ignore that part. But
yeah. No, I don't want to ignore that part. I don't want to ignore the part where the Cowboys lost. Period. I don't
no,
ever
no,
want
no,
to ignore that.
no, no. But the part where where Arizona would be better than us in that one.
Oh well, yeah, but we already beat them, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, we'll see what happens during the pick segment when you start talking about Arizona again.
yeah,
All right, so since we're kind of glossing over San Fran because let's face it, everybody's talked this whole thing to death. A
yep,
lot of us didn't expect the Giants to win. We wanted to see some things, and I think we saw some things. A lot of things that we didn't see. We want to see more, but we didn't see the tackling, and we just stop dropping Kayvon Thibodeau into coverage, please and thank you.
yeah.
Let him rush the passer. Somebody said somewhere, and they're like, well, we don't have Aziz on the other side who can, like, you need to rush one and drop one and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. Just let them go. Just let Kayvon go. I mean, he got a sack, and everyone's, well, it's a coverage sack. You know what? I don't care. It counts in the stat sheet as a sack. A sack is a sack is a sack. I don't care how you get it.
The one thing I'll say, and because I mean, I understand let Kayvon rush the passer. We spent the 5th overall pick with him. We haven't been able to get a pass rush going. Let him go. But I'll say this: I do think it's starting to become like an excuse for our pass rush and an excuse for Kayvon's play so far. I mean, he has almost the same amount of pass rushes as Micah Parsons, Miles Garrett. Like he's gotten plenty of pass rush opportunities. He's just not doing it. I understand the frustration, but I don't think anyone would give a shit about the drop in a coverage if we were playing well. It's just we're focused on every little thing because we're not playing well.
Right, right. And if he's dropping Kayvon in the coverage 26% of the snaps, and we're winning, then yes, no
Yeah,
one's going to care. But the fact
yeah.
that
If we're
we're
dropping a cover,
losing, we're going to dissect every little thing that's
exactly.
wrong and how we would do things differently if we were the defensive coordinator or the
Exactly.
coach. But you know what? You're not. You're not.
Like, if
I don't want
if
to
we
hear it.
were dropping Kayvon in coverage, but we were getting sacks with Jason Pinnock and Isaiah Simmons and shit, we wouldn't care who's getting the sack. We got the
Right.
sack.
We wouldn't care who's getting the sacks because we got
Yeah,
sacks. And
exactly.
If Kayvon gets an interception dropping in the coverage,
You
we
don't care.
wouldn't care either. So it's
Yep,
it's because we're not producing, we're not winning on these plays, and we're not winning these games. So everybody's going to dissect every tiny little
yep,
thing, and everybody's going to overreact, and the sky is falling, and we're talking about how our first round picks are busts, and that's a word I saw thrown around already. It's like we're we're 3 weeks done in the season of 17 games. We have
yep.
13 more to go. We have a long way to go. And everybody's already talking about, oh, this guy's a bust. This guy's doing this. We can't do this. We need to fire the offensive line coach, which I actually agree with.
Oh, yeah. These 2 should have been
Yeah.
fired last year.
Oh my god. Don't, I mean, we're not going to start into a tirade here about how much we dislike Bobby Johnson. We did that 2 weeks ago.
We'll do it. I'll do it every week.
And we'll keep doing it. We'll keep doing it, but we're not going to turn it into a giant.
Yeah.
We might do a
Also,
segment.
what's going on, Darius?
We
Darius
might.
joined us Spaces this week. I think that's the first time I heard Darius actually, his voice. So, nice to talk to you this week and welcome.
So, yeah, and I saw somebody with them. I saw Monty. You commented on somebody's post today somebody posted a was it like a 6 round mock draft where they picked only offensive
Yeah.
linemen, and you're like, 0 for 6 if Bobby Johnson's still the offensive line coach.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
We either, well, both preferably, but
Well,
either just
well,
get veteran offensive linemen or fire Bobby Johnson because he's not going to develop rookies. But preferably do both those things.
I mean, we do have we're supposed to have veteran offensive linemen that Bobby Johnson's coached before,
Yep.
and he's
I've mentioned
getting
that one out.
worse. I
Yep.
saw that. I saw that. That's why I mentioned that.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh,
I kind of forgot about it, but then it occurred to me. I'm like, I've been talking about how Mark Golinsky's gotten worse since he got here. I brought that up. I'm like, oh wait, Mark Golinsky is here because of Bobby Johnson. And that's what Joe Shane said when we signed him. He's like, look, we
yeah.
don't just look at our Buffalo connections. Look at Bobby Johnson. He liked Mark Golinsky, so we brought him in because he knew him from Indianapolis. Thanks, Bobby Johnson. This is going great.
Thanks, Bobby. So, and that's the thing too, is now that we have this long stretch in between last Thursday night and next Monday night, it's who's getting fired, who needs to get fired. It's the entire fan base is now, we're in this spot where we're just a miraculous amount of overreaction. I mean, and the New York Revival guys kind of talked a little bit about this on their show earlier this week. Um, Come on, I mean, not for nothing. I mean, he was pretty damn good in college.
It's
If we're if we're
it's
talking about it,
it's crazy to me what's happened to Evan.
it
Like
is. I
he
know
just
it's
doesn't
it's
look like the same guy. He looks
I
worse
know
than when he came in. It's insane.
it's well. I mean, and that's the
Frustrating.
thing is like you saw the guy put in all this work in the off season. He was posting it all over social media. He was doing all the things. He's looking for veteran help and getting these guys to teach him to play on the right side as opposed to the left side. And it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, did he come in day one of the offseason program and Bobby just took him aside and said, "Hey, Evan, I saw all the stuff you were doing this summer and it all looks great, but I don't want you to do any of it. I want you to
Not
do it the way I showed you how to do it."
he's not letting him vertical set, which is
Just
all he did in college.
I know. I know. Just you got to. I mean, you can't expect this guy to play to change the way he's been playing his entire playing career just because that's the way you want to coach him. I mean, that's not a smart move in any field,
Or at
you
least have
know?
some recognition that it's not working and to
Right.
try something else.
It's important to, you got to put your people you have to give them the tools and the opportunities to succeed. You need to oh man, I'm I'm having a brain fart. You need to put these guys in the best situation to succeed, which means allowing them to do what they do well in order to hide what they don't do well. And there's a way around it, there's got to be a way that they can mesh those two. I mean, if you think about it, like Andrew Thomas on the other side, they just kind of let him do his thing. They don't mess
Mhm.
with him. They don't bother him. It's like, oh, cool, you're an all pro, you do your thing, and I'm going to mess everybody else up. I mean, I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, if it doesn't work out soon, I'm willing to try the whole guard thing, but I just want to try a new offensive line coach before we do any of that shit. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
man,
would,
that's
I would,
where we are. We'll see what happens Tuesday. I think a lot
yeah,
changes with these conversations depending on how game goes Monday.
right, exactly. So, speaking of Monday, looking ahead, Monday Night Football, we're in prime time once again against the Seattle Seahawks. We're coming off 10 days rest. They are playing. They're playing this week. Oh no, wait, hold on. They played on Sunday, so they
Yep.
don't have that
They
much.
They
as
got
much
10
time
day,
as
we
we
got
did.
11. Or no, sorry.
Right.
We got 11 day. They have 1 extra day.
Yeah. Wait, no, they don't. Oh, they have 1x. Yeah, 1x.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so we're gonna start looking at basically what do you think we need to do to win this game, man? That's pretty. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You know. So, I mean, the good news is we are probably getting a bunch of people back. Andrew Thomas will probably be back. I think I saw this afternoon Ben Bredesen is out of concussion protocol, so he'll be
Good.
good to go. And then, Saquon's still day to day. I'm sure they won't say anything until they have to with him. So, and then I don't know if you saw this, but the Seahawks the Seahawks injury report is a mile and a half long.
Yeah.
It is
I actually,
absolutely huge.
hang on.
You got it.
I pulled it. I just forgot to upload it. Hang on.
Mm. So while Monty's doing that, I'm going to do this because that's what you do. All right. So I was looking up some stuff yesterday. And so Seattle's 2-1, obviously. They lost week 1 to the Rams, and then they beat the Lions and the Panthers, which I'm not super impressed with. As far as the Panthers, not the Lions. The Lions are actually pretty decent this year. And I was looking around, and I was reading like game breakdowns and whatnot, and they only led at the end of the fourth quarter against the Carolina game. In every other game, they played catch up, or were at least trying to play catch up. It took and they beat Detroit in overtime.
Yeah.
So
I was watching that game.
Yeah.
Detroit's a good team, though. But we all should, theoretically, the Giants should be in a similar caliber as the Seahawks.
Right, and that's what everybody likes to say is that the Giants, like this is a game they're playing a team that's in their weight class.
Yep.
We played 2 teams that are in a higher weight class with the Cowboys and the 49ers. We played one in a lower that everybody was saying is a lower in the Cardinals, and and now we got something where they were relatively evenly matched with.
Yep. And then here I brought it up. So
okay,
this is what it was. I'm gonna make my screen bigger so I can read it. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
So I got it with it. I'll read it off
Okay.
to everybody if people can't see it. So right now, limited participant, we have Saquon Barkley with an ankle. We have Daniel Bellinger with a neck. Was that it? Or no, I don't know. I can't read that one anyway, because I don't remember it being neck. But regardless, DJ Davidson with an elbow, Azeez Ojulari with a hamstring, Andrew Thomas with a hamstring, and Ben Bredesen was a full participation out of concussion protocol. And then on the Seahawks side of things, Charles Cross did not participate. DK Metcalf did not participate. Guard Phil Hayes did not participate. Cornerback Trey Brown, concussion, did not participate. Kobe Bryant, corner, didn't participate. Draymond Jones, hip, didn't participate. Safety Quandre Diggs, hamstring, did not participate. Nose tackle Jordan Reed did not participate. Linebacker, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's a starter over there. Achilles didn't participate. Darnell Taylor, shin, didn't participate. Will Disley, Julian Love, revenge game, didn't participate, hamstring. Then Artie Burns, hamstring, didn't participate. Jamal Adams was a full participant. But yeah, that's a hefty list right there.
Yeah, that's a fairly big list. So yeah. So if you think about it, like this is essentially a very winnable game for us. They've got a laundry list, And I know it's what is it? It's Thursday. Game's not till Monday. Um, you got to figure they'll probably travel on Saturday. So I mean, I really don't think that a lot of that's going to change. Do you?
I don't know. There's one thing that Bobby Johnson was Bobby Johnson. That's what people have
Jeez.
been doing all month on Twitter. Bobby Skinner
Wow.
posted. Um,
Wow.
he was asking if
Shout out to
um
offensive line coach Bobby Skinner.
shout out offensive line coach Bobby Skinner. He was asking if that's a thing that Seattle normally does if they're actually injured. I'm not sure, but it does seem like something that's like Pete Carroll plays those type of games just like Bill Belichick does, things like that. So it's something
Right.
worth keeping in mind. But
I don't know. I don't know. So, well, here's the thing, man, and this is what I think. Since we're getting our big boys back up front, um, it's going to be a good time to run the damn ball. I mean, and not just like we don't know if we're going to get Saquon back yet at this point or not. So it's really important that we establish a running game, not essentially centered around a particular running back. I thought Gary Brightwell did all right against the 49ers. Um, I want to see a little more Eric Gray. I think Daniel needs to get involved in the run game a little more. It didn't look like he didn't do that a ton against San Francisco, but I mean, it's fairly obvious as to why. But, and the other thing is San Francisco, most of that game, you watch their defense, they're only rushing four. They're keeping everybody back because they didn't think that because they knew that they didn't have to account for Saquon. So they were like, good, go ahead, try to run on us and everything. Yeah. Did someone say run the damn? That's right, Chris Peace. I said run the damn ball because that's what we need to do. We need to run the damn ball. And then, use the run to set up the pass or use the pass to set up the run. We need to establish the run game. And that's the most important thing, I think, in this game. What about you, Monty?
so there was a stat that I saw this week, and it was that the Seattle Seahawks, I believe this was a stat, has allowed the most explosive plays in the NFL. So I think if there's any game to get our explosive plays going, it's going to be this game versus Seattle. Um, so obviously that can also come in the run game, especially if Saquon Barkley is on the field. But continue to say we need to get Jalen Hyatt more involved. Jalen Hyatt,
Exactly.
in my opinion, should be at least sharing the starting job with Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe, but he should be starting in the slot until he
Hmm.
can become, a guy who can create for himself outside. He should just be starting in the slot and getting a free release as much as possible because we need that speed running one-on-one with whoever safety or nickel corner they have on him. Um, so I think that's an important thing. I'll say another thing that I think is really important, and I've just noticed, I mean, especially this year, is it feels like we don't get the same Daniel Jones if Daniel Jones can't get out and move. He needs to be using his legs and threatening the defense with his legs. So I think that needs to be a huge priority for us is to get Daniel Jones out of the pocket, get him rushing, threatening this defense, getting him roll out and all that type of stuff. And I think he is a better quarterback when he does have the ability to get outside the pocket and make plays. So
Right. And I think they're gonna trust that a little more now, um, as far as the offensive line goes, to be
now that we're
able
not
to
facing the best defenses in the NFL.
yeah. Well, not only that, but we're getting Thomas back. We're getting Bredesen more than likely back. There might still be I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. I feel a lot more comfortable with Josh Azudu as a swing tackle as opposed to Matt Perry. I mean, he's shown he can hold up on his assignments, and he's looking pretty damn good when he was called to step in for AT. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, is now that we're getting the line is we're getting the line healthy again. Um, you'll probably see a lot more of that because they trust. I mean, Azudu's been great for like a game and a half when he had to be in there, but like he's not Andrew Thomas. You know,
Yep.
you put Andrew Thomas out there, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable rolling Jones out. You know, and getting him on the move more so that he can create space and create a little more time for these receivers to get downfield and you know try to get some of these big splash plays that we're looking for.
Yep. No, I agree, and I think hopefully something could really help is we haven't had a healthy Andrew Thomas basically all season, if having him at all, and hope that that's going to help with Daniel Jones' comfort level because he has not looked comfortable at all in the pocket this year. And hopefully, knowing that his blind side is going to be covered will help with that. But he has not been the Daniel Jones we've seen at times.
Yeah, I mean it definitely wasn't like he was in Minnesota last season. Um, or even and I know everybody's like it's preseason, but the preseason game against Carolina where
Or second half versus Arizona, even.
right. All right. All right. So we're about 30 in, and it's time for picks. So I'm going to bring in our resident or our special pick guest, Mal.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Mal,
What's
how
going
you
on, Mal?
doing?
Good. Thanks for having me on
So,
again.
so for those of you who have not been following, we've been getting Mal in every week for the pick segment. And I'm trying to see if all right. So I've got the standings right here because I do
Let's
everything on
hear it.
paper. All right. So after 3 weeks, there is a two-way tie for first place between Mal and myself. We're at
All
31
right,
and
let's go.
17. Monty's in third,
I pass
29
smooth.
29 and 19, and Smooth is in the basement at 26 and 22. Um, Smooth is at a family function this evening, so shout out to Smooth. I may have whipped his ass in fantasy this week as well. That's what
Ooh,
happens when you start Josh Allen and the Bills defense and Raheem Mostert.
that's an automatic
So
win for last week.
Yeah.
I think
I
Raheem
got beat by
Mostert.
someone like that.
I think Raheem Mostert had more fantasy points than that. Yeah, he beat out my quarterbacks. I think the only person who scored more fantasy points on my team than Raheem Mostert was the Bills defense. Thank you,
Yeah,
Sam
they had a
Howell.
lot of points.
Yeah, they did. They did. All right. So for tonight, currently the game is underway. Mal, Monty, and Smooth all picked the Lions. And I went with the Packers, and it's looking like that was maybe not such a great idea right now as they
Did
are down.
you see the injury report before you made that pick?
I did, and you know what, man? He doesn't.
Oop,
He doesn't
another
play.
interception for Detroit.
Oh, really? That must have just happened.
Yeah, it literally just happened. I'm watching it.
Yeah,
Right.
this game's gonna get out of control quick.
Yep, they're like inside the 10-yard line right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's weird. I mean, our feed must be not quite
Yeah.
synced. Anyway, not important. All right. So this week, Smooth went with, and I'm just going to read his off, and we'll go through and we'll talk about the rest of them. Falcons, Miami, Broncos, Ravens, Bengals, Rams, Saints, Eagles, Vikings, Texans, Chargers, Cowboys, 49ers, Chiefs, and Seahawks. That last one hurt. All right.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
Monty. All right. So, and then mine, I'll read mine off and then we'll go through your guys's.
Okay,
So,
go
I
for it.
picked the Packers, obviously. Um, and the Falcons Jags game is in London, so it's on super early. And the Jags usually do pretty well in Loveland, if memory serves me. So I went with the Jags, Bills, Broncos, Ravens, Bengals, Colts, Tampa, Eagles, Vikings, Steelers, Raiders, Cowboys, Cardinals, Chiefs, Giants. I want the Cardinals to beat the 49ers.
All right.
There, I said it. All
There you
right.
go.
Hey.
I love it.
So, Monty, you put the ESPN up. All right, awesome.
Yep.
So, all right. So, Mal, since you're the tied for the first and you're the guest, why don't you go first?
All right. So I picked the Lions tonight. I'm going with the Jags. I'm going with the Bills. I'm going with the Broncos, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Saints. Oh wait, no, I'm going with Tampa. Sorry, Tampa. Eagles, Vikings, Steelers, Vegas, Dallas, San Francisco, Kansas City, and the New York Giants.
All right, 49, Kansas City. All right. Oh wait. Who did you say? Rams, Colts.
Rams. Sorry,
one.
I thought that
Okay.
was the Chargers logo. I couldn't
Yeah.
see it very well.
Okay. Well, they both
yeah,
look
Rams.
the same, and they play in the
Yeah.
same and play in the same stadium.
I know. I had to do like
What
a
does it
double
matter?
take. I was like, oh
And
my
it both
goodness.
literally says Los Angeles.
Yeah, it does. I
Yeah.
thought it was Chargers versus Indianapolis at first, and I was like, oh, I totally saw that.
And they both are hot garbage. All right, Monty.
All right, so obviously I picked the Lions. So basically a home game for Jacksonville because they're playing there every single year. So I'm going to go Jacksonville in London. I'm gonna go the red hot Miami Dolphins. I'm gonna go. This is a shit show right here, Denver versus Chicago. I'm gonna
Worst
go.
game of the week.
Yeah,
The Caleb Williams Bowl.
Literally.
I'm gonna go bounce back game for Denver. I'm gonna go Baltimore, Bengals, Rams,
That didn't sound very confident.
Tampa Bay, Eagles, Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Chargers, Dallas, San Fran, Kansas City, fade smooth, New York Giants.
Love it.
All right. Maybe I should have asked Smooth to send me his picks when he was sober. Holy hell. All right. Okay. So yeah, guys, what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to keep the show fairly short. I find the ticket prices very interesting. Yep.
Yeah, $23 for Jaguars Atlanta.
Oh yeah. That's I like how they show you the ticket prices on ESPN too, because you're kind of like, huh, I could probably swing that.
Yeah. There you go.
Who has the most expensive game?
England. Let's see.
Is it Washington and
Washington,
Eagles?
Philly? Yeah. Wow. Philly fans dedicated. $206 to go see Washington.
Jesus.
Oh my God. The second most expensive. No, third most. No, okay, fourth. But still, fourth is Chicago, Denver. $102.
That's crazy.
Who wants to see that game? I guess Chicago fans are like, this might be our only win we get to watch all year.
Yeah, and Bears fans are pretty dedicated.
They are.
Yeah.
Pretty loyal.
Miami Buffalo deserves the hype for $179. That one.
Oh yeah.
Second place. That's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, they're trying to. I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL is like, is it too early for flex games? Can we?
Yeah. Oh my God, Jordan
Can
Love
we?
is 1 for 6 right now. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Packers
funny.
aren't doing so hot.
I was hoping he'd have a good game tonight. I mean, it's a divisional game. You got to, and you're at home. You got to get up for this, Jordan. Come on, man.
Maybe they'll be embarrassed more than the Giants were last Thursday. So
I think Denver won that title
yeah,
of
they
most
won that for
embarrassing,
sure.
or the
Yeah.
Bears. I mean, it's a toss up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
at least nobody set records for versus us for like
That's
most
true.
points scored in a
I
common
know.
era.
I know. Whew.
That would have hurt.
Jeez. I mean, not that it didn't hurt. It
Yeah.
the midlife ball.
Yeah. Made it a little better.
That's a good one, Darius. I like that. All right. So, do we want to do score predictions for the game?
I'm down. Do you have
Yeah.
Mal? Do you have any comments on the game about what you think's important for the Giants to win this?
Yeah, so super quick, I actually just talked about this on my podcast yesterday.
Shout out.
Stopping the run. Stopping the run is the most important. I think if we don't do that, we're not winning that game. We gotta stop the run.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle for us for a while,
Yeah.
and it's the most important thing that needs to happen, and we need to give Daniel Jones some more time. So I'm hoping we could do that. And if we do that, hopefully it'll be a good game.
Agreed. I'm glad you brought it
Yeah.
up because we didn't really touch on defense, but that was one I wanted to say as well, where we have not stopped the run, and we made that an emphasis this offseason. And despite improving our personnel, it's something we haven't done. And Pete Carroll always wants to run. He wants to set up his pass with the run game. So I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Mal is one of the hosts, and I believe memory serves me correctly. It's the 13 Rings podcast.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. And you guys can find that on Spotify and anywhere else, Mel?
No, we're still just on Spotify, still working on the others. But Spotify, we have Twitter, Facebook. So if you guys want to follow us, we talk everything NFC East.
Good stuff. All right, man. So, Monty, let's start with you. Score predictions for this week.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and say we are going to win this game, and we are going to win it 28-24. It's going to be a close one, but we're going to win it 28-24.
Like it.
All right, Mal, what about you?
Yeah, it's going to be close too, and I think it's going to come down to probably the final drive. But I think we're going to win this one 23-20.
I got real obnoxious last night when I said, not only this is going to be a get right game for us, what better way for a Monday Night Football game than to end in overtime? I said Giants 40, Seattle 37.
All right.
So I'm going to stick with it because I've already put it on wax, so we're going to stick with it.
Not a get right game for Wink, but a get right game for Daniel Jones is awesome.
I mean,
yep.
I mean, let's be honest, kids. All right, you can't be 12-5 if you don't lose 5 games. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
Doesn't say when you're going to lose those 5 games. You just have to lose the 5. And we've
lost
2 of them out of the way already.
Very difficult games. We might have gotten blown out in one of those and kind of handed in the other, but still only 2 losses to 2 good teams.
Yep. I mean, it's
still
not
very
like
early.
it's not like we got beat by the Cardinals.
Nope.
How about them Cowboys?
We pulled that one out.
All right. So I think tonight we're going to keep it short and sweet, kids. So once again, we want to thank Mal for popping in for the pick segment. And we will see you hopefully next week, Mal, for another one.
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Shoot. We're gonna have to get you like a crown or some shit if you win this.
Yeah, for sure. But there's still a lot of time, so
there is still quite a bit of time left. So
I'm coming for you guys.
You're coming from behind.
Go back to your basement, Monty. All right. So For Big Blue Mal, for my main man Monty, I am Sergeant Mayhem. We're going to keep it short and sweet tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell so that you know when we go live. We're on Twitter. I think we have an Instagram that we don't use, and
Yes, that's correct.
I'm pretty sure we deactivated the TikTok because Smooth can't dance. So we will see you all next week. Take it easy.
Yeah, actually.
Have a good night, guys.